So you started playing Hell Let Loose and your first hours in the game feel oddly similar to this. I know the feeling. You're spending the whole game running across the map to get to the action, then boom, the screen goes dark because you got shot from seemingly nowhere and now you have to do it all over again. Probably not the type of experience that you were looking for. I had the same exact thing happen to me when I first started playing this game roughly 1 year ago. I didn't enjoy it very much. The game felt more like a countryside walking simulator than a first-person shooter. But I'm here to tell you that you can change that, and it's actually pretty easy to do. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you how to stop running, how to learn where the enemy might be coming from, and how some basic tactics and shooting tips can get you to have a lot more fun with this game. Before we start, be aware that I do have several different guides on Hell Let Loose, which I recommend you watch since they will give you a better understanding of the overall mechanics and gameplay of the game. If for some reason you haven't picked this game up yet, I have some good news for you. The guys over at Team Dix are having a giveaway, so make sure to drop by their Discord to check it out and to start playing with a really awesome community. I will provide the link to the giveaway in a few minutes, so stay tuned. And hey, if you find yourself wanting more, then make sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribe to make sure that you don't miss the next few videos. Alright, I'm gonna show you this map from a game that I played a few days ago, which is a prime example of one of the worst experiences that you can have with this game. Up top, there's the 3 spawn points which are basically found in every map. You can always spawn in any of these points unless there are enemies nearby. The rest of the map is nearly devoid of spawn points. Now here's what the map looks like when you're playing with a good team. Look at how many spawn points there are. The difference this makes in the game is absolutely huge. If you need to attack or defend, there is always a garrison that you can spawn on, and if one position gets overrun, there's somewhere to fall back to. You see, unlike most shooters out there, you have to create your own spawn points in this game, and if you don't, and if nobody else does it either, then that's it, game over. Garrisons and outposts, which are the spawn points that I'm talking about, allow the team or a specific squad to spawn. They are the key to winning or even enjoying this game. If they are all bunched together, a single enemy soldier can take them all out in a couple of seconds by literally walking over to them. Garrisons can also get destroyed if they are hit with explosives, so a tank or a grenade can end your control over the map really easily. If you're coming from games like Battlefield, you would think that once you take a sector, you get a spawn point. That is not the case here. Squad leaders are responsible for placing these spawn points with the help of a supply guy, so if you get into a match with 4 or 5 squad leaders that don't know what they're doing, then you're pretty much screwed. But there is something you can do about it, and it's actually really easy to make a difference. The first thing you can do, if you're already in a squad, take the supply role and let your officer know that you can help him place garrisons. You can even call out to nearby squad leaders from other squads and let them know that you have supplies and you can set them down. Just check your map to see if any of them are around, or even place supplies where you think a garrison could go beforehand. Garrisons can only be placed 150 meters apart, so keep that in mind. The other option you have is creating your own squad and dedicating yourself and your squad mates to creating a proper grid of spawn points for your team. This means that you will need to lead your squad into flanking positions, clear out any enemy units, and set up some garrisons. This will have a major impact on your chances of winning the game, way more than just attacking the enemy from that single garrison that your team has. However, I don't recommend you do this if you have little to no experience with the game, but then again, a squad leader that creates garrisons is 10 times better than one that doesn't. If you want more information on this, check out my Garrisons and Tactics video, which gets into more detail on garrison placement and how they can be used as a radar for detecting enemy troops. Keep in mind that just like your garrisons and outposts are the backbone of your entire team, the same is true for your enemy. If you want to win, find and destroy enemy spawn points. Nothing helps you do this more than communicating where enemy outposts or garrisons could be located to your team, both to your squad officers and to people nearby. If you see a parachute coming down with a crate, that's supplies for the allied team. If you see one with a torpedo-shaped thing, that's supplies for the German team, and they will be used to set up garrisons. Immediately relay their position. If you see friendly soldiers running around and you can tell them where a tank is or where you saw a bunch of enemies, do so. Communication is another key aspect that some people seem to disregard, so if you want to improve your experience, talk more. Now, while solving the spawn point situation and communicating properly will help you get rid of all the running around and give an overall sense of purpose in the game, you need to understand something about the shooting mechanics in this game. This isn't Battlefield, this isn't Call of Duty. One shot is usually enough to drop an enemy, so there is often no phase where you're shooting back, you're just dead. So if you're running across open terrain, you will probably die if there's an enemy watching you. They won't need to get 5 or 6 shots on you, one is enough. So stick to running next to hedgerows, have your officer use his binoculars to scout the terrain, and be cautious. Your best strategy is always to remain unseen. So keep low, use the trenches and ditches to crawl through if you know that you will get spotted running. It's better to crawl for 2 minutes than it is to get killed running across the terrain. If you're in a forest, the enemy will have a much harder time spotting you if you remain still rather than just running around. If you know there's enemies nearby, stop moving and wait for them. You will see them before they see you. The other key mechanic you need to remember is suppression. Suppression in Hell Let Loose is completely overpowering if used right, and it's basically unlike every other shooter that I've played. If you have a machine gun shooting towards a group of enemies, their screen will shake and go black and white, making it extremely hard, if not impossible, to shoot back. This means you don't necessarily need to rely on killing to properly defend against an enemy attack or to be able to advance. Covering fire is actually a thing in this game, so you can have a bunch of guys shoot a bush or a window to get the enemy off your back while you move. And lastly, always remember that whether you are attacking or defending, finding and taking out enemy garrisons is your key to success. Think of it this way. You might be really good at the game and take out 60 guys in one round, but if you take down a garrison, that's maybe 20 or 30 enemies that you just prevented from spawning. It makes an absolutely massive difference in the game, in terms of capturing points, in terms of map control, and in terms of reducing your enemy's options. So next time you play, focus on garrisons first. There is no attack or defend without spawn points. Your number one priority should be having proper ones. Second, don't rush into encounters. Take your time. Peek around corners. Stop and pause for 30 seconds. You are 100 times more likely to be spotted if you move, so stay still and advance slowly. If you're dying a lot, stop attacking the same exact way, stop trying to cover as much ground as possible, and stop running so much. This is a game where you need to secure and control terrain, so staying put in one place for 5 or 6 minutes, clearing it out and defending it is encouraged. If you head 300 meters into enemy territory, but you didn't clear out any spawn points or placed one of your own, it doesn't really matter if you killed 20 or 30 guys doing it, because as soon as you're dead, you and your team will have made literally zero progress and you will be no closer to winning. Always remember, you are part of a team. You can make a huge difference or none at all very easily in this game, and hopefully you've learned how to do that by watching this video. And hey, if you want to find people that want to play as a team and will be more than happy to help you out, try joining the Team Dix Discord server and find some people to play with. Joining their Discord has gone a long way at helping me enjoy this game, so definitely give it a try.